I've always been fascinated by trains ever since I was a lad, and I saw the Royal Scot burst out of Lindslade Tunnel in all its mighty glory. Now, in British Rail's modern image, I'd like you to come with me on a land cruise. This is a luxury land cruise organised by Intercity Land Cruises Limited, right up to the Western Isles of Scotland. Before we could start our land cruise, we had to take the car down to Mike and Joyce's, and then Ken, a friend, took us from Mike and Joyce's at Sharnbrook down to Bedford, and we now catch the local express from Bedford down to St Pancras, and on the way down we hope to see our land cruise train in the sidings at Cricklewood. Actually in London, at London St Pancras station. We missed the cruise train in the sidings and found that it was travelling down the line towards St Pancras, ready for departure at platform 7, where we shall be very shortly. Meanwhile, a look at the Gothic architecture of St Pancras station. London St Pancras. Train is 16 coaches long, has 6 sleeping cars and 2 kitchen cars, and the remainder are day coaches. Station was the largest span ever built. Our compare for this land cruise.
I'm described now as the announcer of all things. What happens?
And of course we mustn't forget the people that we're travelling with.
He's an absolute menace, I'll tell you.
Joyce and Michael.
Okay.
Here's the wine list for this evening. Oh man. And evening dinner to be served after we have picked up our guests at St Albans. Cock-a-leekie soup. I seem to remember that from last year.
It's a St Cock-a-leekie soup.
So here's to an enjoyable meal. We'll see what it looks like when we get it. Show the length of our train. The 4 tracks north of Kettering divert into 2 tracks to Leicester and 2 tracks to Melton Mowbray via Corby, and therefore we have to wait now at the red signal for the Intercity 125 to overtake us on the lines to the left of us. Once that train has overtaken us, we will then cross over to those other 2 lines, the one on the far left, so that we continue our journey towards Leicester. And my companions are quite happy sitting in their seats. There's Mike picking his nose. I think Mike is an actual bogeyman. Nothing like realism. There's toilet rolls and a hand dryer and an ashtray and the toilets and the wash basin and the actual towel to dry your hands when you're finished. And we're now approaching Derby Midland Road. It is here that they built the APT, the Advanced Passenger Train, with its specialist tilt system, which never ever did work satisfactorily and was not ever used on British Rail after the test runs. We're actually stopping here to pick up passengers, and they will be served their evening meal once they have boarded and we're on our way to Edinburgh. We are now just about ready to depart from Derby, and we'll now be heading overnight towards Edinburgh, ready for our weekend up in the Scottish Western Highlands. Well, the cows haven't gone to bed, but some people are going to bed on this train. But I don't think we are just yet. A lot of people have gone to bed, but I don't think we're ready to go to bed, are we? We've still got drinkies on the table. exactly sure where we are. This is, I think, Sheffield, and this is probably where we change crew of driver and guard. Well, I am correct in my assumption. This is Sheffield. Well, you can see the time. Our train is deserted. Everyone seems to have gone to bed, except us. And we've invited the crew to come back to our compartment for a drink. Whether they will or not remains to be seen. But we're quite happy, and we're quite happy to sit up all night. The rest of my friends, they're happy too. We're not worried about getting up in the morning, because I don't know whether we'll ever go to bed tonight. I can't hear you, June.
Come in, then you'll hear us.
Yes, June.
Joyce has just said that it'd be a good idea to leave you two in here, and Joyce and I will go to our sleeping compartment and have all the guys come to us.
Oh, they want the fellas in bed.
As long as they don't charge 3p a time.
3p? 3p? Our women are worth more than that.
Well,
Mike.
that's what they charge normally. As I said,
3p?
we don't want torn stockings and knickers at 3p a time.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, won't we? In Edinburgh, just woken up, had a wash, we're waiting our early morning cup of tea. Morning. It's a little bit noisy up near the locomotive, but that was the locomotive that hauled us up from St Pancras to Edinburgh. That locomotive now takes these sleeping cars away, and we are left for today, being Saturday, and tomorrow Sunday, with just the day coaches and the kitchen cars. And then we pick up the sleepers again, or they are reattached to the train on Sunday night, ready to take us back to London on Monday morning. Now en route from Edinburgh to Glasgow. passing Linlithgow with its cathedral where Mary Queen of Scots was born.
Right, we're now awaiting the arrival of our breakfast.
Skippers.
The same to you, Michael. I think I'm going to settle for porridge. Porridge. June's going to have the bread basket. We've already had lots of coffee and tea.
Approaching now Bowling, that's the Erskine Bridge, and after Bowling we have Dumbarton East, and a very well known place for us, Dumbarton itself.
the menu, although we have yet to leave the train at Oban, go across to the Isle of Mull, come back, get on the train this evening before we dig into this menu.
Jar of cream in case my hair goes too dry.
This is coming up to Korean Larik station, and when we leave here we take the left fork to continue to Oban. Now there's the line to Fort William, which goes through Tyndrum Upper, which we'll be doing tonight, and we're on the line to Oban, which goes through Tyndrum Lower.
Those streams. Look, they're really awful. I can't believe it.
Christmas trees out there.
Look at those rock art.
I don't mind having you on film, Joyce.
Well, not for me. It's a tune for me. I keep trying to.
Not Paul is the pig.
That's Kilchurn Castle on Loch Orr.
And there is the little steamer. I can spot it over there on the left. It is mooring. I wonder if
Now at Oban, the locomotive that hauled us here.
Special train.
Little bit down. And that's McCaig's Tower on the hill. Not a very nice day here at Oban. Now going to get the ferry to Mull. afternoon, and here we shall board a coach to take us to Tobermory. Where I've been wanting to come for about 20 years. Look at it. Well, we hope you enjoyed the pipe band as we left the ferry. We're now back on the train and enjoying our hors d'oeuvre or starter. And the girls have got soup. Mike and I, well, Mike has just had haggis. I've yet to have haggis.
And bash neeps.
And what?
Bash neeps.
Oh.
Why have you done so?
What is it? Chicken what?
Chicken supreme.
Oh, chicken supreme. We've already seen the
Supreme
menu
chicken.
before we went across to the Isle of Mull. What have we got? Baby sweet corn, broccoli, roast potatoes, cream, whole potatoes.
Boiled potatoes, darling.
Royal potatoes.
Boiled.
Oh, oiled potatoes. Well, it looks good, so I'm going to get them. Just coming into Crianlarich, and that is the line that we're going to go out from Crianlarich on. This is a very wet Crianlarich, and it's just after 7:30. We've had our dinner. The engine has now got to uncouple from the front of the train and go down to the rear of the train round the platform over there to haul us back out of Crianlarich northwards again, but this time on the Fort William line.
Are you having tea or coffee, ladies? Teas? Okay. 2 teas up here, dear.
In case you can't see out the window or your bit of the train is not on the platform. When we leave here, we're of course travelling in the other direction. We're back now on the West Highland line. So if you do particularly have a fancy to facing the way you're going, or whatever it may be, now is the time to do your musical chairs bit and switch around while the train is stationary tonight. But you have now all got particulars about your rooms in the different hotels, and you've either got, in the case of different hotels, you've either got a yellow a rooming slip, or a white one, or a sort of bluey-green one, blue I think. Anyway, in the case of the other two hotels, the Milton and the Cruachan, there will be a coach for each hotel. Just make sure you...
Well done, you did a good job there.
In terms of the arrival at the hotel, in each case you are pre-registered.
Port, please.
Of your room. So just a question of getting to your room, the keys in the door, that's all you have to worry about. Now, in the morning, it tells you, which in fact is the same as the information in the itinerary, the train leaves at 9:30. Now, the times of breakfast are different from those printed in the itinerary. So, as I say, stick to the rooming slip, and the hotels themselves are slightly different as well. Now, the majority of the people being at the Alexandra, there are in effect 2 sittings, and I think it's all clearly on your rooming slip, but basically what it means is if you're in a room 100 to 200 bracket, your breakfast is at 8, the 300 to 400 bracket, your breakfast is at 8:30. In the case of the Milton, breakfast is at 8:15. In the case of the Cruachan, breakfast is available from 8 o'clock. When you leave the hotel, in each case the same thing, obviously. If you have run up any bills tonight, if you'd be kind enough to get those settled.
But you got the
And in
idea.
terms of getting back to the station, again, those at the Alexandra, who are in the majority, you've only got to walk across the road to the station. Would you be good enough not to go back to the station before?
There's the loco running round to the other end of the train. But it's a bit too wet to keep filming out there and having the camera out in the rain.
Don't jump, Mike. Please don't jump, don't jump.
How is it there? Yeah.
Now I want you to know that Mike has done that especially for Joyce. Not for himself, but for Joyce. And if you believe that, you'll believe anything.
Sit down, down.
Because they would put these trains.
Now, Mike, what did I say? I mean, I don't...
So now we can proceed along the single line track to Fort William. It's stopped raining and things do look a little bit brighter. Here we are at Fort William. Quite a damp night, but here is the hotel, which is just across the road from Fort William Station. And the hotel dining room, all made up for breakfast.
Locomotive depot on the right hand side. The reason I mention that is that at this time of year the steam trains are running, and there is a steam train today leaving here at 12:15,
Train manager walking through a rainbow.
Meet just after
Can that be bad luck?
on our return journey, and that's why.
That's the West Highlander steam train service. Just caught the back of one of the locos on shed over there. And that is Ben Nevis, and they say if you can see the top of that, the day's not going to be too bad. Just coming up now to the Caledonia Hotel, Caledonian Canal. Did forget to mention, but the viaduct was the Glenfinnan viaduct. This is a passing loop. That sprinter will now be able to proceed along the track that we've just come from down to Fort William. Manager saying sorry for delay because we got held up and had to wait for other people to come by car who had missed the train. feeds the seagulls and they're getting their dinner. We're sitting here waiting for ours. And where are we? Yes, it's 12:52.
Oh yes, right.
Sorry.
And we're waiting for our main course to come.
Sorry, June.
We've got June feeding them now.
That
On the
one's,
platform
yeah,
at Mallaig.
You can't move as fast as the others.
It's quite cold here. We've just had a bowl
It's
of
quick.
soup.
Yes, isn't he? He's had most of it.
We're having what we having for lunch? Salmon.
Much pleasure
Salmon.
from it.
You look a poorly little dicky bird, you do.
He's got a poor leg.
Yes, and he looks poorly, his feathers look very ruffled and he looks grubby.
You
And
missed it.
could be a young bird actually as well.
He's not, I think. He's an old
The
one.
seagulls. We've now got our lunch. We've got salmon with, I think it's prawn sauce, is it?
Yes.
And new potatoes and peas. And the waiter's coming back and I've got to move in. Now I can move out again. We're now off of our diesel hauled train. We've had most of our lunch. And in actual fact, the others have stayed on the train. I've got off because very shortly, if all goes well, the West Highlander steam train will come round the bend and into the loop at the station which we've stopped at. Here she comes. We've lost the cork bottle for the wine, so June is playing with her cork. It looks good up there, actually. What's the time? 1438. I think actually we should have a look at the we should have a look at the dinner menu. There's a bloke just walked in who cracks a lot of wise jokes. Looks funny up there, doesn't he? I only want to see what he looks like from down below. Here is this evening's dinner menu to be served at 7 o'clock. 7? Grape Suzette. And we'll move that away just to show you what we're doing this afternoon. Well, that's what Mike and I are doing. Joyce is just sitting. I've gone blurred. I've gone blurred, Joyce. Where's my control?
There's no answer for that.
No,
Joyce has got a headache, look. June's still playing.
If I might just remind you that as soon as we start to move from here, once we're clear of the station, you get your view down on the right-hand side of Loch Shiel and the monument, and of course a few minutes after that of the viaduct itself. But it happens almost as soon as we start.
A second chance to see the Glenfinnan viaduct. Very bleak up here. The station, I think, is mainly aimed at hikers, walkers, fell walkers, and all there is from that little station is a track which disappears over that hill and down into that valley, which eventually, after about 10 or 15 miles, joins up to a dead-end B-class road. The head of the man who put up the final sum of money to lay the railway across Rannoch Moor when the money for the venture, the original venture, had virtually run out. And because all the workers appreciated him giving the money so much, they carved this head as a memorial with the tools they are actually using to build the railway. It's all to do with trying to lay the railway across peats and ponds. down on the Clyde, and we passed Helensburgh, and we've had a very wet and windy journey down from Fort William, and we've had our evening meal, and we're this time going to film the other side of Dumbarton, where our very good friends John and Peter abide or have their abode. Well, this is Dumbarton. Dumbarton Station. We should be back up here in about 2 weeks to stay with John and Peter. Right up there. This is just for memory purposes that we are now stuck in Edinburgh with what is literally known to the layman as manky sleepers. We can't move into the sleepers because they're faulty. We're enjoying 3 drinks in our compartment on the train, and we should have left here at 10:30. It's now 11:45. What more can I say? We've just moved out of the station and stopped with a jolt. People walking up and down the track. So all we're going to do is wait and see what happens. Might even move into a hotel for the night yet, but we should really be on our way and almost in Perth to spend the night there. This is Perth Station. I just wanted to film this because of the lovely architecture. All this lovely wrought iron, and of course that lovely clock. There's an abundance of wildlife here, lovely flowers and grasses. coming up to what is supposed to be a very pretty little station as we approach the Forth railway bridge. My God, it's windy up here. Wow! Too windy to hang out the window. So there's the road bridge. Rail bridge celebrates its centenary this year, 100 years old.